very nice lunch and all and all and all and all. Okay, so I was saying, how has your day been? Please drop it in the comments. Did you go to church? Did you stay at home? Are you part of the online family that watch church from home? No, how has it been so far? Please let me know, let me know, let me know. Do we have some other people who just finished lunch? But they are still waiting for food to be done? Which one are you guys? Yeah, I'm waiting for your comments. Okay. So far, you can say excellent. We are really learning a lot. Yeah, it's been excellent. Beautiful, beautiful. So you can also drop your light bulb moments, that particular thing that has hit you like in the last week. We had the class yesterday and I saw so many comments. This is like one of my best classes. This is, oh, I wish it would not end. I wish it not. Okay, so from yesterday's class, if you were present for the class yesterday, please drop your light bulb moments. So for those who were not around, something that really hit you. Okay, so I see at the the lessons have been relevant and impactful. It is much more than worth it. Oh, great. Beautiful, beautiful. That's a beautiful comment. Thank you, at the Okay, so from yesterday's session, what was that one thing or two things that that you took home that you can say, I learned yesterday, from the class? We talked about the emotional issues here. So what's that one thing, that you took away from the class yesterday? That one thing, that you can say, oh, this is exactly what I learned yesterday. Please, I'd like to see your comments. Welcome, welcome, Frederick. Welcome, Kiza Robert. Welcome, Mukuntili Abisola. Welcome, Effort. Welcome, Adebukola. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you guys. So please, okay, so I see a comment from yesterday. Men want respect. Women want love and communication. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Yes. Emotions are contagious. Yes, Adebukola. Emotions are contagious. So imagine if somebody offended me in church, I just come and pour the anger on you people. I'm just feeling my face up and down. So, and definitely you guys will feel it. Yeah. The emotions are contagious. Exactly. Any more from yesterday's class? I know all of you that were shouting that the class should not end. Hey, you should drop your comments. I'm waiting for you people. Emotions are contagious. Yes, yes, yes. I want some more nuggets from yesterday's class. More. Okay, Aisha says we have to manage our emotions and study the environment. Very key. We have to manage our emotions and study the environment. That is very apt, very apt. Thank you so much for that. Any more? Something you learned? Okay. Emotions are always there. Exactly. Emotions are always there. Like we can't do without them, yeah? So emotions are always there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, thank you. Any more from yesterday? Welcome, Aaron, Dunia, and Onye. So, hi, Funke. Good evening. Nice to have you. So, I'm waiting for comments from yesterday's class. That's one thing or two things that you've learned. Okay, if effort says emotions drive or govern every decision. Exactly. Emotions drive or govern every decision. That's why you need to always think and pause before you like take a step. Don't just act on your immediate emotion. If you are feeling angry and you need to send a mail, don't just use anger I say, you know what? Just send the mail out like that. Aisha, exactly. Oh, we should not take life so seriously, especially in this economy. Enjoy your life, enjoy yourself. Even if you have 10 naira in your account, buy biscuits and pure water. I'm not even sure 10 naira can buy pure water again, but make the best of it. Make the best of it. It's very important. Don't take life too seriously. Life is not that hard. Yeah, it's not that hard. Welcome, Efetobore. Okay. Types of emotions. We have fear, frustration, motivation, stress. Beautiful, beautiful. I like all of this. Good evening, Onye. If somebody did never attend yesterday, with all these things you guys are dropping, like we've already grabbed one or two things, stress, fear, you know. Thank you, Onye. Emotions are there every single time, even when you are not expressing them. Exactly. Exactly. Emotions are there, even when you are not expressing them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. I like that. Any more? You guys are just dropping it back to back for me. Nice one, nice one. Let me see if I can. Study your boss. I like that. How many of us really, really take time out to study our bosses at work? Are you just focused on the work, or you also try to study your boss to know what your boss likes? So some bosses like, you taking decisions on your own. Some like micromanaging. So know the kind of bosses that you have. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Take note of body language. Exactly. Take note of body language. That's very important. Very important. Okay, I can't see any comments on YouTube yet. Take notes of body language. I like that. So take note of my body language too. Hey, manage your three T's: time, talent, temper. Time, talent, temper. I like that. I like that. Manage your temper. Do not react. Only respond. I like this class. I like this class. Manage your temper. Do not react. Only respond. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that. Thank you so much for that. What else? I like those three T's: time, talent, temper. You need to manage them. Beautiful, beautiful. Any more while we're still waiting for our facilitator for today to join? Let's just keep on enlightening ourselves, especially for those who weren't here yesterday, so that they can have at least a grasp of, well, a faint idea, of what we had yesterday. So please, please, please drop some more nuggets that you learned, drop them, drop them. Let's get them on. Manage your three T's. But what's the name of the speaker that came yesterday? Let me test our fastest finger, fastest finger. Full name. Fastest finger. Mr. Peace, Bamidele. Bamidele. I guess. Thank you, yeah. Oh my God. Thank you so much. What was the name of the speaker that came last week Sunday? Fastest finger. Fastest finger. Last week Sunday. Fastest finger. Oh my God. Let me see who got it right. Pastor Shegun Ariyo. Pastor Shegun Ariyo. Nice one. When you wait happen now. It's only a year that is the class. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, let me guess. I think while we're waiting for our speaker, we'll just play some games. Let me see if he has joined. Okay. I'm not sure he has joined yet. I see him online. So what was the very first topic we had in this LIC? The very first topic that we treated? Fastest finger. Very first topic. Well, yeah, you sure you're not using Google like this? Using technology to rebrand education. Was that the very first topic? Even me, I cannot remember. I'll confirm the answer. I'll confirm your answer. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's correct. Using technology to rebrand education. Yeah, we need to give you an award. We need to give you an award. Nice one, nice one, nice one. That's beautiful. And what was the name of the speaker, the facilitator that took that session? Oh my God. Oh no, the facilitator. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, don't answer. Don't answer again. It's okay. It's okay. Don't answer again. Oh yeah, someone else. Who was the speaker that took that session? Using technology to rebrand education. Let me see who is here aside to Oye. No, nobody. Fastest finger, fastest finger. Dr. Adewumi. Dr. Adewumi. Interesting. Full name, full name, full name, full name, full name. Oh. Dr. Adewumi Olusoji. Oye has come. Okay, no problem. So we're going to be playing a game real quick while we're waiting for our our facilitator to join the call. So we're going to be guessing the flags of the country. So I'll show you, let me see. I'll show you my screen and you guess the country, right? Of the hashtag flag. Fastest finger, right? Just 1 minute. So let me see. Let me see if you can see my screen. Can you see this? Can you see the flag? Can you guess the country? Don't Google it too. Fastest finger. Burkina Faso. No. It's not correct. Not correct. Not correct. Pakistan. Not correct. Not correct. The options are there actually. There are options there. Can you see the options? Gabon. Music. If I just doing guesswork. The correct answer is Afghanistan. Afghanistan. Okay, so Evetobori and Lugard got it. Okay. Afghanistan was the correct answer. Okay, so next. The options are there. Can you see my screen? The options are right there. UAE. Mm, UAE, UAE. Everybody going with UAE. UAE. Yeah. Okay. Correct, correct. You guys are good like that. You are good, you are good. They like you people follow the first person that pick. Oh yeah. Next. What's the answer? Bulgaria. Bulgaria. Lord Lugard. Armenia. Armenia. Okay. Let's see the correct answer. Armenia was correct. It's Armenia. Who got the answer? When Okay, okay, okay. Nice one, nice one. Okay. Can you see my screen? Antarctica. Antarctica. Saint Lucia. Antarctica. Mm. Antarctica was correct. Well done, well done, well done. Okay. I hope you people are not going to Google the answer, Sha. The Lord is watching you. Let me tell you people. Yeah. This one is too hard. American, American Samoa. I've never heard this country before, but it's all right. That was correct. Correct, correct, correct. I hope you people are no can do for the answer. I told you the Lord is watching you. Next, Algeria, mm, Andorra, mm, Andorra, Andorra. Yeah, Andorra. Correct. Andorra, Andorra. It's okay. This. Austria, mm, Turk, Turkmenistan, yeah, Turkmenistan. Yeah, countries I've never heard in my life. But let's see which. It's Austria, Austria, Austria. Yeah, it was correct. Austria. Interesting. This, Austria. No, no. This was not Austria, right? Laos, Laos. Okay. Laos. We all seem to go with Laos. Laos. It's actually Netherlands. Oh, you got it. It's Netherlands Antilles. Netherlands Antilles. Interesting. Never seen this flag in my life. What's this one? Cyprus. Okay. Let's see. So Cyprus. Okay. The correct answer was Albania, actually. Option to Albania. Okay, thank you guys for playing the game. So I think we have our facilitator here already. Welcome, Dr. Akinpelu. Okay, so I'll just read his profile and I would hand over to him. Dr. Akinpelu is an official member of Forbes Coaches Council, performance coach, development consultant, author of several books, and keynote speaker. His purpose is to discover, develop, and deploy people and systems to their full potential. He is the CEO of Akinpelu Learning and Development, AAL&D, an innovative consulting, training, and research-driven company demonstrating expertise in the service industry par excellence. He has consulted for many organizations and addressed more than 700,000 people in talks, training, and coaching throughout Nigeria, Ghana, the UK, Canada, Finland, Sweden, Estonia, the UAE, the USA, and many other countries worldwide. He has helped to facilitate development projects, sister city collaboration, and public-private partnerships and cooperation amongst communities. Dr. Akinpelu speaks to governments, corporate, and public audiences and campuses on subjects that bring about immediate changes and long-term results. He has consulted for Guarantee Trust Bank, Stanbic IBTC. Please join me as we welcome Dr. Akinpelu. You're welcome, sir.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing, Oluwatosin?
Very well, thank you, sir.
Well done. Is it okay you give me about a minute? I just came in from a meeting, then in 1 minute I will just shoot. Let me just get on the desk and be part of this with you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
That's very fine, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, so while we're waiting for, yes, I see the welcome. While we're waiting for Dr. Akinpelu. So how has the assessment been so far? I know so many people have complained. It's so hard. Are the questions easy peasy, or we need to go for a doctorate degree? It's been awesome. Lord Lugard, like I love your name. So, okay, he said it's been awesome, interesting. Onyiye, has it been easy peasy for you? Because you know you've been asking all the questions since morning, so I'm sure it's been easy for you. So for every other person, I'll start calling people one by one. Ademola Prince, Adebukola, how has it been so far? Adewale Temitope, Aisha, Bolus Lucy Garber, Diana, how has it been? Okay. Yeah, it's been easy. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So every other person, I want to believe it's also been quite easy. And the questions address what you've been taught, not that we ask you for square. Okay, Bolu says it's been good. Interesting. Learning a lot. Exactly. Thank you, Diana. You're learning a lot. That's cool. That's cool. Interesting. Okay. And very soon, I know you start working on your projects. I'm not sure it has been announced yet, or it has. Okay, so we'll start working on the projects, and I believe you're all working as a team because teamwork is very important. Yeah. Kesta, it's been great. Interesting. That's good to know. So teamwork is very important. Nobody's an island. So please try to collaborate. Collaboration is key. I'm sure we learned that in one of the lessons we had here. Collaborate with other people, do your research, and ensure that you're putting in your best efforts into anything, whatever the project you're working on. It's very, very important. Very important. And very soon, you'll have your certificates, I believe. That's if you pass all the assessment though, and you passed the score, that's the pass mark. That's when you get a certificate, right? Interesting. Okay, so let's just give Dr. Akin some more time to get on for our discussion today. If you have friends who have not yet joined, please do well to inform them to join. The class is just starting, so they still have enough time to join and get the best from this session so that they don't miss out. It's going to be an amazing session. Okay, effort. It's been very informative and exciting. That's good. That's good. Very interesting. So let me just check on YouTube if we have any comments. The comment section. Okay, I'm not sure we do. Can't see any. Okay, so while we're still waiting, I know I read Dr. Akinpelu's profile. Okay, okay, right. All right.
It's okay. I'm here now.
All right, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good to have you here. How are you doing?
We're very fine.
Well, okay, so can you please make my assistant one of your co-hosts so that she can do some displays for me? Is that okay?
All right, sir.
Thank you. So Zainab is going to do, she will need screen sharing or so that. So Zainab is going to do a display for me.
Sorry, what's her name on the platform?
That's the lady you've been speaking to. The lady you've been speaking to, Zainab.
So her name is not here. Can't see Zainab online.
Oh, okay.
Not sure if she used our normal name or another name.
Okay, I'm sending her a message now to ensure she gets. Yeah. Sorry, it's been a very long one today. I really apologize for joining a bit late, please.
Apology will accept it.
But so while we're getting ready, I just want to ask a few questions. So while we're getting ready, so I just want to ask everybody in the room this afternoon. If you can hear me well, can you just give me thumbs up in the chat room so that I'm sure that we're good and we're connected together. So just help me out and do that. Then I'm sure, oh, beautiful. So that's fine. While we're trying to get in, I want to ask you a few questions. So when you hear environmental leadership, what comes to your mind as a person? You know, madam, do you want them to unmute themselves and speak, or they should chat it? What's the protocol?
If you would want them to speak, it's all right.
Okay, please. Okay, please. They can unmute and speak about it. What do you understand by environmental leadership? What comes to your mind every time you hear that? So let's just have that as a little conversation. So anybody she gives access to. So please just introduce yourselves. Tell us your name and what comes to your mind. Thank you. So who's going first?
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Onye. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if Dr. Akin can still hear us.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Okay, yes. We can hear you, but we can't see you though.
Okay, you will see me now. So who's going first? What is environmental leadership? What comes to your mind when you hear environmental leadership?
Good evening,
I want
sir.
to believe you can see me.
Not yet.
Can you hear me?
My camera is on.
I see you now. Yes. Onye, we can hear you as well. Yes, sir, we can see you.
Good evening, sir.
All right. Onye, do you want to shoot?
Yes, sir, I want to. Actually, I would say this is actually the first time I'm hearing this environmental leadership. But I'm going to try and say something. For me, I think it's more like, just like it's implied, it's more like having someone that has maybe like a youth that has to all about sustainability, like environmental sustainability, trying to maybe sensitize and expose people to the adverse effects of pollution, maybe yeah, emission of like carbon substances that causes that has a negative impact on the ozone layer, thereby maybe causing climate change and impacting negatively on the health of people. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well done, Onye. Well done, Onye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to get one or two other people quickly? Talk to me, friends. What comes to your mind? Just tell me anything. It doesn't have to be so correct like that. So whatever comes to your mind when you hear that.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Effort Obamano. What comes to my mind in respect to environmental leadership is driving an environmental awareness where the regulations and statutory laws are bring to the fore in order to sustain a good environment as regards to either pollution and waste disposal into the water and all of that. That's what comes to my mind whenever I hear about this environmental leadership. Thank you.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Thank you. Somebody says that you can be carrying your associate, your community, your colleagues along towards achieving a goal for the betterment of each other in the environment or in the so what you said is so much in line, and the last person is so much in line. It's just some semantics, around it. Some people have called it several words. It could be positive youth development. Some people have called it community impact transition. So it has come up with different names, but the whole idea around this is very simple. How do you get people to better their environment and community? So you are speaking from leadership perspective, and you are also talking about the development and the transformation around it. And because I play a lot in the development sector, I want to try to be able to ensure that everybody can gain and learn something from here. Let me ask a question, Madam Tosin. So, what sectors do we have people here? What are the sectors?
All sectors, different. Some computer science, some education, some the fintech, different sectors.
Okay,
Yes,
fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, so this helps me. Okay, great. Somebody's in health and network marketing. So that's beautiful. So this brings me to, I want to talk about the demography of the young people that you have in Africa. And that demography would help you a lot as we move on. So it's so much around the youth, the positivity, where we are, and this helps us on how to get there. Now, let me say a little bit about Africa's population. In 2016, Africa was 1.2 billion. Now, by the year 2030, you are going to have 1.6 billion people from Africa. By the year 2050, you are going to have 2.4 billion. And the youth population, or the population of the youth, is between 15 and 25. What is the importance of this data? It just tells you something about positive youth development, that only 1 in 4 youth will have higher education, by the year 2050. And number 2, only 1 in 6 youth will get into wage employment. So it means that when you have 6 youth together to get into employment, it is going to be 1 out of the Nigeria. Nigeria has a population of, we were told 200 million as of 2020. So as of 2020, we have that. And if we have that, that simply tells you that by 2050, we're not going to be 2020. We're not going to be 200 million. By the year 2050, we're going to be about 450 million. And the median age at that time is going to be 23. Right now, I think the median age is what you call the median age is about 18. Yes, precisely 18. By that time, you would have, and Nigeria would have been the 3rd largest, with the urban population in the world. So that tells you something about Africa and about Nigeria, because our yearly growth is about 2.6%. So we're going to have median age of 18 now. And by the year 2015, it's going to be about 48.1% of our urban population. then people are going to be between 0 to 25 or max 25 years as at that time. Now, this is a call for something that we need leaders. We need young people, positive youth. We need people who can be environmental conscious. We need people who can drive visions. We need people who can create things that are sustainable. We need ideas. We need projects that will go with the SDGs. And by now, I hope that every one of us here, we are working in line with the SDGs. If you are not, you need to write it somewhere to go and find where you fall in the SDG so that you understand exactly what you are up to. So there's a call for leadership and there's a call for positive youth development. Why do we need environmental leadership? So over 60% of Nigerians are under the age of 25. That's like the youth board, and youth employment is about 15 to 24, and increased from quarter to quarter. The rising youth population comes with several challenges across 5 key transition areas, which I'm going to talk about very solidly, from education, whether from early childhood to higher education, to talking about employment, talking about access to health, and a few things that come with it. It is very important to know that the young people are not a homogeneous group of people, right? While there are some that can be common. Maybe another day.
Okay. I think he had a network issue. He just left the call now. We'll just give him some few minutes to join back. Network can be on him. Let's just give him some time to. Okay. I think he has joined. Okay, it's back. Okay.
The work will be causing headache.
And you know my body is paining me. Imagine to my hair come back to
Nigerian network.
like my body is just.
It's malaria. And these people will not.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. I mean, the networks are acting up. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, I'm sorry about that. The networks are hyping. So I'm trying to do like 2 or 3 now. So I was talking about when we talk about environmental leadership, we must understand that young people actually have certain needs. Looking at the data that I shared, and they need support in making fundamental transitions. And fundamental transitions will require those 5 areas. Number 1 is going to require education. So there's a problem in education. There's a problem in employment. There's a problem around access to wealth. There's a problem around social mobility. And there's also a problem around exercising what is called their citizenship rights. So when I say education as a major thing, this is what I mean. There are insufficient pathways for young people, particularly when you talk about post-secondary schools. Now, so everything looks very, very dim for them, and it looks like it's just set up for them, and they don't have too many options. So even their options are controlled. So education is a very, very important part of it. Now, there's a place of employment. So you know that the growing rate of unemployment and something which is called underemployment amongst the people is rising. You can see that there's a reason for us to pay attention to positive youth development a lot. Access to health. Young people lack proper access or understanding or guidance around, let me give you an example, sexual reproductive system, health, and lifestyle. You find it there. So somebody's asking, please, can you please grant the person access to be able to display? Now, social mobility. Young people have a tough time advancing their social goals. So they are, at least in their lives, they are moving around social status, social strata. You see them moving around social strata. And the last problem that they have is about how to exercise their citizenship. So there's a general lack of understanding of roles and responsibility of a citizen, which can lead to apathy. And you find that young people are not even interested, and they don't want to be very, very interested in that. So I'm laying that foundation so that you know that it's important to get this. Go to page 7 very quickly. Go to page 7 very quickly. I've passed here. Where you have the SDG. Go to where you have the SDG. Yeah, one more page, that's good. So I had to say this, and I'm going to say this for a while, that you need to begin to position yourself around the SDG goals. If you are going to be an environmental leader, somebody who can impact the environment sustainably, then you have to do it through the Sustainable Development Goals. So you ask yourself, what I am doing, where does it fall in? Now, for example, the first goal is on poverty. If you're solving poverty problems, that means you are in the first part. The 13th part talks about climate action. If that is what you are dealing with, if you're dealing with what I call reduce inequalities, that's number 10. You must be doing something around. Don't just carry out a vision or a goal and tell yourself this is what you want to do. So it's important that you pay attention even to that as you move. Next slide. I want to talk about the whys of a positive youth development towards environmental leadership. I want to talk about some of the whys. So next slide. Remember Abraham Maslow's law that talks about the theory needs of people. So from the flat part of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid, you will find out that the first thing you will find there is the psychological needs. You remember when all you're thinking about at your time in your life is food, how do I get warmth? How do I get rest? So it's going to also show what you give your time to, as at that time. And it is good. Yeah. So there's a point you get to, you're dealing with your safety needs. What you're looking for at that level is security. You're looking for safety. So it's also affecting what you're doing, the kind of job that you want to get at that time. Now, if you go deeper, you find out that there's something called belongingness and love needs. It's just a relationship. At that point in your life, you're spending a lot of your time on relationships. So now that's not a basic need. That's now a psychological need. A psychological need. And I think that ties with the fourth one when you go above it, that has to do with esteem, the prestige and the feeling of accomplishment. In one of my trainings, I remember somebody said to me, she got a job. She's a senior sales manager. So, no, senior marketing manager for a tech firm. And she got a job that was going to double up her salary. And she said to herself that at this point, that's not what I'm focusing on. There's something I need to get from here, and I think that if I get it, it's going to make me very, very accomplished to be able to achieve this as we move on. So it talks about that. Then you now get to the phase of self-actualization. Self-actualization. Why am I saying this? You cannot implement energy efficient practices, if you're talking about environmental leadership, without being able to understand how to, where you belong, then the resources available to you, then how do you work with the resources efficiently? Resources around you. They're talking about little things like, okay, electricity, water, the waste. As a business owner, how do I like reduce my operational expenses and what I'm doing? It's important that that you know all of that. So and that's why I'm tying it around what is called positive youth development. So let's move on. I want to talk about what a positive youth development is, and for the purpose of study. So it's an intentional approach. It's a pro-social approach. It's a strength-based approach, that helps you to recognize and fight, for environmental changes and development, when you're not disenfranchising anybody, but you are in pursuit of the goal of the community, and all you want to see is a vision that like a better view.
Thank you. Nan na da zama wannan zamu yi muna wani mutum ma kawai. Ka zama wani abin nan ba ka ba. Ta ce ban je ba kenan. Ko kuma ana je ni ka kawo mu ka bada report da ce report din ya su bi ko. Abun nan din. Amma da mu.
All right, so I guess we can continue. Are we still together? Can you just like give thumbs up or something? Let's see. Let me be sure that we are still good. Yes, Bolos, the network is bad, but can you hear me now? Okay, thank you, Onye. Thank you for that. Okay, so I'll continue. And you see, when we talk about positive youth development, we're talking about how to engage within the community, within the schools, within the organizations, within the peer groups, within everybody around us. How do you recognize the resources that you have, and how are you able Hello.
Okay, so we can hear you now.
All right, so the network is quite porous. All right. Well, we're good now. So you must focus. I need to quickly do this so that we don't keep going back and forth. You need to focus on your strength. So I'm talking about positive outcome versus problem focus. What's your strength? In trying to solve a problem, look at your strength. Don't be problem focused, be positive focused. It's important that you do that. Number two is community involvement and collaboration. community involvement. Remember, people say to you that it takes a village, it takes a village, it takes a village. Remember that statement. So, and what that simply means to you is that pay attention to everything that runs within your environment, because you are a leader around your environment. You're an environmental leader, and that's very important. So you must be able to understand that. And this is my theory, which is a theory of change around this environmental leadership. My theory of change is this, that if plus then they will, those two things. If plus then they will. What do I mean is this? If young people have the knowledge, the skill, and the support that they need, they are going to thrive as good adults, become great environmental leaders, enjoy good health, and they are also going to succeed economically. And when they succeed economically, they can make meaningful contribution to their communities. So it means that if these guys are supported, they are helped, and there's a voice for it, they can end up becoming great environmental leaders who are going to make great contributions even to the society. And that is very, very important. So as we round up this, I will speak on what I will call the framework for environmental leadership. Yes, this framework, I'm going to talk about it. And there are 4 concepts I would like to talk about from that place. The concept called agency. So if you look at the concentric circles, if you can pinch it and it gets bolder before you, that if you want to be a healthy and a productive person who is going to end up becoming an environmental leader, there are 4 things you need to pay attention to. Number 1 is agency. Number 2 is assets. Number 3, contribution. Number 4 is enabling environment. Enabling environment. So what do I mean by these things that I've said? I mentioned asset, agency, contribution, and enabling environment. So if I say asset, what comes to your mind? Very simple. Asset is like a useful and a valuable quality, skill or person. That's an asset. You get that from Webster's. So young people have the resources and skill to achieve their desired outcome. Particularly if they have necessary resources and skill, they are able to get results and their capacity gets better. You must understand that. Let me show you, can you go forward let me show you a project that some students constructed in Makoko. Go forward a little bit. Now, I want to look at this. And I just want to tell the power in positive youth development, environmental leadership, and to let you know that these people are powerful enough and we are enough to lead. Now, look at this place. If you have been to Yaba side of Makoko before, you would find out, Makoko side of Yaba, you will find out that there is this place in Makoko where they are impoverished, bad water, bad life, but you're going to find these students who came together. Look at this. They first came into the concept of self-leadership, identity, self-awareness. Then they decided to say that, no, we are going to be great people who can manage our environment also, want to be environmental leaders. They decided to get on what is called a community impact project. And they built a bridge by themselves to cross the bad water. Mind you, if you picture that stuff, well, that water is where a lot of them get to take their bath. Now, these guys did not pay a carpenter. If you get a carpenter to do this, a carpenter is going to spend a lot of money. Now, they didn't get a carpenter. And they didn't pay a carpenter. All they did was that they had a carpenter stand with them, and the carpenter began to teach them how to go about this construction. That's why we call the students wooden bridge to aid movement across the river. Do you want to mute yourself, sir? So you find that there. And that's why I said that it's important that you know that these guys are powerful people, and you cannot underrate what is called the power of an asset, the contribution that you can make, the agencies that you represent, and also what I call the enabling environment. So when I say enabling, enabling means making something possible. Environment is like your social, physical spot, as it were. So when they say enabling environment, it means that the environment provided to be able to help enhance what is called your environmental leadership as we go. So let me run fast. I know that the time given to me is very small, but let me go to application of what I'm talking about. So go by 2 more slides. The USAID they explained what is called 4 levels, or 4 paradigms. They call them the paradigm of the 4 P's. Number 1 is there's something called prevention of trafficking, rather, number 1. Number 2 is there's prevention of prosecution of traffickers. Just look at this. Number 3, there's protection of victims. And number 4, there's partnership for a strengthened response. Now, how does this work? It's like saying that I'm an environmental leader. So this is like what they call a tool for environmental leadership. Beyond just saying, I want to impact my environment, I love my environment, I want to be positive towards a vision, I want to create an environmentally better future, I want equitable development and change. I don't want disenfranchisement of communities. I want a where everybody can be fine, and all of that, and that is good. But there are tools that you can use that can help you to achieve that. And if you look at the yellow spots there, I mentioned 4 ways or 4 things that USAID explained. They explained prevention, protection, prosecution, and partnership for a strengthened response. It means that if you pick a social problem that you want to solve, like a first level of what you call systems thinking, you must be able to apply these rules around it. The rule of prevention, protection, prosecution, and partnership. So the last one, the partnership, it means that's what makes it sustainable. You must be able to partner, come to the point where you can do things, whether with the public sector or with the private sector. And at the end of the day, what's going to be your awareness, your outcome? Very simple. You'll be so environmentally aware. You would have developed environmental skills. You would have developed a responsible decision-making skill. You would have developed self-awareness, like I talked about, then social awareness, in the first place. You would have been able to achieve all of that. I think that we can create a sustainable and a very powerful environment as environmental leaders if we're able to pay attention to all of this. I hope this helps us a little bit. And if there are questions, we can take the questions together. I want to say thank you for having me. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Very educated. Yes, I see the comments. Thank you. Okay, so you can drop your questions in the chat box. Just drop your questions so that we can take the questions. Yes, I see the comments. It's very enlightening. Let me just go through the YouTube if we still have any more chats. You can drop your questions if you have any questions. On YouTube, you can also drop your questions. Yes, loaded but brief. Yeah, right. The network is very challenging today, so we have to be brief. Questions. Please do drop your questions in the chat box. Okay. Let me see. YouTube, you can drop your questions as well in the chat. I'll take them as soon as I see them. Questions. I can't see any questions yet. Any questions in the chat box, chat room? Okay, White says, okay, so there's a question, sir. Therefore, every leader should be an environmental leader, looking at various dynamics you have mentioned. Now, how do we begin to inculcate this realization into our consciousness?
Okay. Thank you very much. So I think I mentioned it a few, and because I don't want to bore you with a lot of business research around this. But how do you get into this? It takes self-awareness first. You need to first be aware. So self-awareness is important in the matrix of emotional intelligence. There's something called self-awareness and self-management before you get into social awareness. So it is first self before social. So there's an awareness that comes in between, that is very, very important before you can solve those problems, there. It's important that that awareness comes. That's how it's going to get into your consciousness. Once there's an awareness, you can move on to now begin to actualize, with any tool that you have, there. Yeah. How can you achieve environmental leadership without government providing the enabling environment? And so I just knew that this question is going to come. Remember, I talked about what an enabling environment could do for you, and it's important. And this is what I would say. That great man said to us that Africans say, don't look for what your government can do for you. Think of what you can do for them. There are many of us that we never really got any leverage from the environment. And that is the truth. That you just have to break in and look for personal strategies, look for mentorships and training, maybe platforms like this where you get relevant information that will help you. If the country is not providing it, you will just have to survive, thrive, and provide an environment for yourself. So it's very, very important. See, it could be tough, honestly, and it could be disappointing, but you will just have to break it out yourself. How can this be achieved without government providing it? Okay, we looked at that. So somebody says that people like to join your quest when they have found out that you are the first to start it. And most of all, there have been this idea that nobody can help you unless you start it yourself first. But sometimes these jobs, mostly if it's environmental, requires more than one person to start. What do you do? And this is what I would say is, if it requires more than one person to start, then partnership is key. I talked about the agency and strengthening of partnership. So partnership is something you have to look at. So the idea is, so people wanted to start something first before they help you. It is true. If you look at, let me pick up this book in my hand. I have a small book in my hand here. So if this book is on the ground, nobody wants to help me. But the moment I begin to lift it like this, it looks like people are suddenly interested in it, and it is true. And it also happens whether you're looking for a partner or when you are alone. So look for partners who can communicate your vision very powerfully, ensure that you speak the lingua that they can understand. You would always find people who can start the journey with you, and they can help you to maximize that. So I think that helps you there.
Thank you, sir. So I think there is one question. What is the relationship between PIY and development communication?
So for the purpose of understanding, what do you mean by PYI? So that people can get what you're saying.
Okay. Adekunle, please, would you like to shed some more light? Okay, so I think Wahid says your demographics is on the youths. What steps do we need to bring in to make our youths interested in environmental leaderships?
I mean, so number one is first education. Education is key. So I talked about education, I talked about engaging, I talked about empowerment. So, but the education part is core and it's pretty important. It is very, very important. So in education, you can talk about things like how do you share information? How do you bring them to awareness? How do you teach them about these things? How do they become environmentally aware as a person? So I think it starts from education before you now get to engagement and empowerment.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Adekunle says it means positive leadership. So what's the difference between positive leadership and development communication?
What's the relationship? I would ask you one more question, Adekunle Ahmed. What is development communication to you? What is development communication to you? I don't want to assume your question. So make your question very easy for people to understand, so we don't make it complex.
Yeah. Okay, so I think there's one more question on YouTube. So Zuma says, thank you, sir. I really looked forward to this session because I want to transition into the environmental space. Now, my question is, how do I transition into the space easily?
Okay. If you are transiting into this space, so it's a broad space. If you look at it, I couldn't talk so much about the spectrum around it. But one thing that I know is that if you're transiting into this, I'll first say that go for coaching, have a good understanding about what you are going into. Please be well trained. Don't just start something because you want to start something. Do all you can to get every knowledge. Now you can't get all at the same time, but do all you can to be able to get a little. So this is where you go for trainings, you seek mentorship. This is when you invest into a body of knowledge yourself to understand exactly where you are going to. Then in the midst of that, understand the corporate governance around it and how to even start that. In the movement of in the midst of that, you are able, so mentors would be able to guide you, to be able to go through that. And there are many journals out online on environmental leadership that will help you. And I think this platform is also set up for people like you to be able to get mentorship.
Thank you.
So development communication, are you back?
I'm not sure Adekunle has responded.
Okay. Well, please, if you have more questions, they can send it to me online, send me a DM or something. Do you want to project my details? The administrator, do you want to project it? You can get me online. My name is Akinpelu. Some you find Dr. Akinpelu. Some you just find Akin. We can connect and send your message, and we can take it up from there.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your time despite your busy schedule. Thank you for making our time to come bless us. God bless you, sir. Oh, Adekunle, you want to talk?
Thank you so much, Oluwatosin. I'm grateful.
Sorry, just unmute Adekunle so that he can explain. Okay, Adekunle, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for the privilege to talk. Yes, sir. Hello, am I on, sir?
I can hear you.
Okay, sir. Yeah. So the reason I'm asking the question that your discussion, your tend toward development communication. I study mass communication, and I know there is a model for. I'm trying to communicate for change. So I'm trying to see the connection between development communication. We talk about to package a message to affect your environment and positive, I think positive leadership that you are talking about. So that's why I asked the question between a see leadership that you spoke about and development communication, which is packaging message to affect or communicating for change. Hope I'm clear, sir.
Thank you, Adekule. Beautiful. I suspected you did mass communication, but you needed to explain it this way so that people understand. So, development communication, very, very important. And you have been able to explain it in a simple way. This is what I'm going to say to you about it, that while you are working on development communication, you need a tool for that communication. I get to be. So in the theory of change, you understand that you must always have a tool or a model to be able to achieve your objective. So that's why you find out that when you're talking about environmental leadership or talking about positive youth development, there must be a tool to be able to deliver it. So, and that's why I recommend that people should go and read more about the 4P paradigm of USAID. Now, that's the way I communicated today is just development communication. You understand? So it's as simple as that. So we don't need to get it, very complex.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. I think there's just one last question on YouTube. People are in part a product of their environment. So how can you ensure you don't get consumed by the decadence in your environment when trying to impact on your environment positively?
So I would say self-identity. Identity is very important. Self-identity. One of the first rules that you must understand laws rather, is that you must know yourself. Remember, Socrates said a little bit about it. Man, know thyself. So you must know yourself. It's important. So in knowing yourself, you'll find out that there are several evolution that can happen to self. So, for example, self-development is an evolution. Self-actualization is an evolution. So whatever you do to enhance self is an evolution that comes to that place. So, I see you, my brother Timon. Thanks for being here, sir. It's important, identity. So know who you are. You would be tested, across all areas. You'll be tested. You're going to be tempted. A lot of things will happen, but identity is very important. So and that's why I deal with self first. When we talked about the matrix, deal with self first before you get into social, into the environment. It's important. And in the midst of that, always have a handler, always have somebody who mentors you, where you can always go back and check, and somebody who inspires you, and I can always check you to be sure that you're still good. I hope that helps you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you once again. We appreciate your coming, and we hope to have you again and again, and hopefully the network will not fail us next time so that we have more time. Thank you so much, sir, and God bless you. Guys,
I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I do not take it for granted. And sure, anytime we'll work out this again. I'm grateful.
Okay, so they are requesting for like
okay.
I believe that will be
we'll just communicate with you directly then if you give the access to them.
That's fine. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you again and again.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Enjoy yourselves, everybody.
Yes, sir. All right, so I'll just be handing right over to Mr. Ayodeji Olasome for the announcements. Mr. Ayodeji, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everyone. And I really want to appreciate Pastor Akin. Please, can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I want to appreciate Pastor Akin for honoring our invitation. Thank you so much. And, I just want to appreciate you, sir. Thank you. The Lord God will honor you. The Lord will honor you in Jesus' name. I know he's been very busy. Part of the reason he came late was because he was in one meeting and there was a major thing he was handling today. I'm grateful that he was still able to meet this meeting at this time. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, we can't hear you anymore. I think yeah, some issues. Also, network is dealing with us today. Interesting.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Apology. The network logged me out. Okay, I just want to appreciate him once again. Thank you. And I thank you everyone also for joining. I'd like to remind you that the project is coming up. I mean, the project deadline is still 27th, meaning that before 27, you should be done, with all the projects. And there is someone in the house, though I don't know if he's still here, Pastor Timon. His session is coming up soon as well. Pastor Timon joined us, in today's session. I don't know, Pastor Timon, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for I hope you guys enjoyed this section.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So no problem. I'm looking forward to my session. I'll be there.
Thank you so much, sir, Pastor Timon. God bless you. All right. So the project, I would just like to state, if you know you were added to 2 groups, please just exit one of the groups and stay in one. Then for leaders, before your presentation, you will need to submit the names of your team members, because the whole idea also is that we want to see how many we are able to carry along, and then we can give matric numbers. I told you that you all have matric numbers, so that when you want to access the portal or the mentorship initiative that we are coming up with, it is your matric number that you will use. So still go ahead and encourage as many on your group who have not joined yet or who have not participated in the project. Please encourage them to join, encourage them to participate. And by now, I think you should be on your way. You should be writing your project and start the activities, the physical activities and the likes. And all our friends joining us, all the fellow leaders joining us from Kenya, from Uganda. I can see some of them are also participating in the groups. I see some of the comments. Keep up the good work, and I would also like to hear from you. And I would also tell you, during the presentation, you are allowed to make noise about it, and I mean it. So although there is graduation is usually in December. That's what we call convocation, December 1st, if I'm not mistaken. I think the timetable will be on the website. December 1st is the convocation, where both LIC students, BIC, TT, TLIC, everybody will be coming December 1st and will be convocating, and will be convoking. But before then, of course, during your presentation, you're allowed to bring in your friends, your family members to join, so as to give you morale. They can join on YouTube, but if you are participating, if you are defending, you need to join the Zoom, on that day. So I'm saying this ahead so that you can prepare for it. You can make noise on it on social media that, oh, it's your defense day. Defense is usually very interesting. Please make sure, if you can pray, if you can go to the mountain so that you have a good network on that day, ensure that you have good network, for your presentation. All right, at this moment, I'll be signing out. I believe the project coordinator will be getting your questions set for the week. So by tomorrow, most likely your questions will be live. Thank you so much. See you. And please participate in the I think this is the 6th week test. Participate in the 6th week test. All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy yourself. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.